Greetings everybody, Tommy the Game Master here with another opinionated rant, and I do want to kind of respond to something that another channel put up a few weeks ago, Review Tech USA, on Microsoft Xbox One's backwards compatibility, why they're pushing it, and why the new Xbox One X exists. I think Microsoft is trying to go in a different directions with the console industry, and if it works, there might be some major changes ahead for us console gamers. Some good and a few bad, depending on how Microsoft plays this. Alright, Microsoft has pretty much said that they think the whole console generation thing is dead in their eyes. From now on, it will be one type of console that just gets continually updated. Kind of like, I don't know, PCs. So basically, Microsoft wants the Xbox One to be an easy-to-use gaming PC. But it's a gamble because console gamers don't like to think like a PC gamers do. We want it to be simple. I pop in the game and it works. I don't want to care about the operating system version. I don't want to care about graphics card, processor, or any of that bullcrap. I want to pop my game in and play. PC gamers do care about that stuff, and when it doesn't work on their rigs, they are often willing to write their own patches and mods for said games to fix said problems, even sometimes before the developers get around to actually addressing it with official patches. It's what they do, it's what they consider fun. They like building their own devices and writing their own software for games. Console gamers, we just want to play our games. So if you go in and saying that we're about to make your life more complicated like the PC gaming crowd is, it's a natural reaction for some of us to just get up and bolt, and I think that's Microsoft's problem. Look, I think this is Microsoft's big in-game. This new Xbox One X isn't going to be the last Xbox One upgrade. I think it's the first in a long lineup of them. Their idea is if you don't to see or a need to you don't have to upgrade. Remember, they have said plenty of times your old games will still work on Microsoft's original Xbox One. They won't run as smoothly and you won't be able to play them in 4K. The next upgrade will make the game's even more clunky to play on the original Xbox One, and eventually, yes, there will be very few games for the people who decide to keep their original Xbox Ones without upgrading. Then we have to upgrade, and it's a smart way to handle the gap if you don't have to upgrade for at least 6 to 7 years at a time unless you're really into the high specs, you're really techie. Now here are the advantages and disadvantages to this type of system. The advantage is that when I upgrade, I don't have to upgrade to a new system. It's just a more powerful version of my old system. This means that all the games I purchase for it will probably still work because it's still using the same operating system. Same system, just more powerful. And I think this is why they're also stressing backwards compatibility, not only with the Xbox 360, but with the original Xbox. I think they want to get to the point that they can say if you buy any games from us, especially digital games, you will have the ability to play it on all our consoles currently and any consoles that come out in the future. And guess what? I like that idea. And gamers like me who like to have big collections, like to play both old and new games equally, love to talk about games, will really like this idea. That said, there are a lot of gamers who fall into one game at a time. They either sell their games off once they're done, or really just one game period. You know, they either play Call of Duty or they're addicted to an MMO, and that's it. The fact is that, you know, the 2% that is oftentimes cited as using backwards compatibility to us is what, like the Blu-ray player that still plays DVDs. We all keep the old movies that we like to watch, even though we might not have watched some of them in years, but when we have the time and hankering to watch it, we are very glad our Blu-ray players play the old DVDs, even though most of the time recently we probably spent binging movies on Netflix. And I think that's why people like to have backwards compatibility, even if they don't use it much. It's just a good thing to have in handy when you want to use it. That said, they're going to have to deal with the disadvantages of this thinking, and they're going to have to be careful and make sure that it's as simple as possible to understand. If I go try purchasing an Xbox game and I get the same confusion and anxiety as I do sometimes when I go buy a game off Steam, will it work on my rig? How many hours am I going to have to keep tinkering with the system settings to get it to run properly, etc.? you're going to scare off console gamers. Keep it simple with the numbers and such, and make it so I don't have to upgrade more than once every 5 to 6 years like my other consoles, and it could work. I like the idea of buying a game and never having to worry about losing it when the next generation comes out, especially with more and more games going digital. I don't want a system that only has digital games, and then when the next system comes out, well, I can't play said digital games because it won't work on my new system. Meaning I got a box full of hundreds and hundreds of games that I won't be able to use if that game system ever breaks down. Personally, I think that's a horrible idea. That said, there's still another problem Microsoft really has to work with. It's why Sony can sit on their laurels and have one of the laziest E3 press conferences I think I've ever seen, which was nothing but game trailers. No speeches, no new reveals, no new services, just game trailers. And that's why they can do it, because they have the support and the exclusive. To put Microsoft problems in perspectives, Bubsy the Bobcat doesn't even think your console is good enough for his game to be on. That's pretty sad considering his reputation. You also have a lot of the Japanese third-party support too going right to Sony. Microsoft Xbox One will be getting Kingdom Hearts 3. However, people who haven't played any Kingdom Hearts games recently will be lost, especially considering how Kingdom Hearts 2.8, which is a PlayStation 4 exclusive, starts the story off at the end of its game. So Xbox One owners are already at the disadvantage, and that's Square Enix. There are tons and tons of Japanese games that I could go on in the list that aren't coming to the Xbox because they don't feel like they can support it in their own home country. They're going to have to fix that. You also need to have system exclusives that aren't on Windows 10. Microsoft, I'm sorry, I know that's one of your features. If I buy it on the Xbox, I can play it on the PC. The PC crowd won't feel left out, but at the same time, if all your first-party exclusives go to the PC as well, you're endangering people questioning why the hell do I need an Xbox for if they're on my PC. Granted, most PC users are going to tablet and to smartphones when it comes to non-gaming things, but still, people are going to ask that question and you're going to have to answer them, so you're going to need some exclusives for the Xbox. No one's going to pay $500 for a system that is lacking games. You have to fix that problem, and you have to fix it pronto. Anyways, this is Tommy the Game Master, thanking you for listening to this rant. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below.